Welcome to Odinrush, capital of Ledar Avuz, the renowned dwarven civilization ruled by Queen Ezem Carolimril. The fortress is carved among and constructed within the second cavern layer among the aquifer-ridden layers of sandstone and slate. The fortress is the home for the mechanical innovation and cunning, as well as architectural prowess. Above all, as one enters the fort via the wagon entrance that descends down 20 Z levels, the first encounter is a trade depot and some stockpiles. At the center is an artifact statue. Beneath this hallway is a waterway that connects the two cavern reservoirs for maximum water flow to the north. It is an agricultural area and clothing and industrial complex on the level above, and the water trickles down the curved shelved chasm from 10 levels above and passing the levels of bedrooms and the glorious tavern and the shrine level. All of the architecture above is open plan, and above the top levels is bedrooms, and the mechanical system behind the waterfalls is a minecart-powered distributed mist generation system. And as there is no renewable water sources above in this level, the water must be pumped from below to feed the minecarts with the water. As the water falls down, it enters the fort under the cistern, which then is repumped into the hospital well. On the levels above the main intersection are some more bedrooms. Each level of bedrooms has a varying color scheme, from the colorful and vibrant quartzite, rock salt, and jet, horme, slate, and sandstone and stoneware bricks. Among one of these bedroom levels is the temples of the two dominant religions. Among this fort to the south is the main hallway, where we have the main industrial area, as some of the non-tempered workshops sit on the set of shelves on the slits of slate, and their materials are quantum stockpiled among them. These are our masonry and carpentry and jewelry and crafts workshops. Below are the magma-fueled pitchblende forges. Conveniently, both sand and fire clay can be found as a base layer of soil on the nearby biome boundary. Hello everybody and welcome back to another community fortress. This is the Dwarven Fortress of Tunneled Handles, sent in on the Discord by Masterspike. It's been a little bit since I've done one of these. I feel like this show needs a bit of a revamp, and as I've been focusing a little bit more on lore with the channel, I think that kind of a goal going forward for this particular show is to maybe incorporate a little bit of more lore. Whether that's me just simply BSing around the edges or the creator themselves writing a little preamble. Let's dive into this fortress, shall we? If you would like to send in a fortress for me to have a look at on this show, you can do that via the Discord server. I do not guarantee any kind of timeline on when they will be shown, but I will get to them eventually. So we start off with this lovely little kind of cross-pattern stairwell, kind of rolling down into the fortress, along with the, as prior mentioned, ramp system kind of going down. So we're going to kind of follow these down and see where they end up. Mostly following the ramp system over here, because that is where the description led us. We have this beautiful little trade depot, and we're going to move forward and in, and I assume that this is the artifact statue. Of course, a sandstone statue of dwarves. All craftsmanship is of the highest quality. It is a masterfully designed image of dwarves in sandstone by Iteb. The dwarves are traveling. The artwork relates to the foundation of tunnel handles by the Coven clasp of, I lost my spot, of the decisions of the Tangled Mines in the early spring of the year 100. That's pretty cool. You always love to see stuff like that. And it has tapered cut baguette cat's eyes and encircled with bands of round sandstone cabochons. And of course, pigtail, and this object menaces with spikes of pecan wood, hungry head bone, and crundle bone. On the item is an image of Take Duties, the mica puzzle box in Almondine. On the item is an image of Lesum Kisses, the colorless. Wisp in steel cap, the steel cap in pigtail. I can speak. All right, so now that we're in the fortress itself, we have a bunch of stockpiles kind of around the area. I'm very curious to find these machines that they were talking about. We've got some farming kind of going on over here on the left, and just kind of scrolling up a little bit, there is this. So this is, I'm assuming, the machine that was being referenced. Let's just take a real quick peek at this. So I'm gonna actually follow one of these minecarts to kind of see where it goes exactly. So it's gonna zip down into the water, get powered along through the water, it fills up. Okay, so these are what? It just kind of looks like ramp down, into, okay, so it goes over here, it hits the wall, it falls down into the lava, and then it's, or not lava, water, and then it is propelled through the water by some pretty strong rollers, and then I'm assuming up a ramp there, but I'm not actually seeing a ramp, so I'm not entirely sure how it's getting back up and out. I'm assuming it's just rollers, but it's kind of hard to say just looking at it. Let's double check. So where exactly are these going? I just need to grab another one of these from up here. And it comes down and it zips through and then it piles up. Yeah, that's kind of intense. Jeez. Is it like impulse ramping out? I'd be very curious to know exactly how this system is working. Because they seem to go through here and then just kind of, yeah, they must be impulse ramping them out. Which is a little bit beyond my skill set, to be honest. And then they come flying out. Wow, that's an intense little system. But let's follow it for a couple more rounds. Let's see if I can catch another one. Here's another one. Let's go zipping down through and then down and around. Yeah, that's some like warp speed going on there. You know, maybe they're changing directions and launching down this way. Man, I would love to see like a diagram of this whole thing being built, but that being said, let's kind of get back down to the fortress tour. So up here, we obviously have this misting setup, which kind of goes all the way down here to the drainage level, which, as was mentioned previously, pumps back into the hospital. Seems to be working quite effectively, and also the fortress is running absolutely fantastically on this computer. Down here, we have this kind of open plan design for their crafts setup. We have, of course... Okay then, so we were back. So the game just kind of crashed. That's a little bit unfortunate. So I'm going to leave it paused while I'm zipping around. I'm not entirely sure what interaction is causing that crash, but it just seemed to kind of come out of nowhere. Anyway, over here we have this beautiful open plan design for various crafts dwarfs and stoneworkers and mechanic shops. I really kind of love this open design, especially over here with like the ashery and the soap setup, and down here with just the wood furnaces. Just all of this looks really nice. It's just nothing I've never quite seen anything like this before. I personally build furnace setups very similar to this, so this is very close to home for me. Down here we have another kind of more intricate minecart route, and obviously looking at minecarts without really having an idea of what they were built for is always a little bit difficult. I'm assuming, based on just sheer glances here, that this is for pumping lava up via minecart. So obviously the minecarts are going to be filled by something here. Obviously this whole setup is powered. I'm assuming that this door gets opened by this lever, and then this would just zip up to the top. So let's see if we can confirm. Of course, it's very heavily powered down here, and it's going to go directly through lava. So once a dwarf gets down here and pulls this lever, I will continue babbling after we witness this filling procedure. There we go. Oh, I see. It's not currently powered. Does that also deactivate this? Is there another lever connected to this? I must be missing something here. Ah! I think I may have found it. Let's see. Try flipping this lever. See if this does anything. Because that should ideally turn this whole system on, right? I will once again speak one... Okay. Did minecart go? Maybe this needs to be replaced to up there now? Because there is a dwarf coming to move this. Oh, I see. So the one from behind comes and smacks it and gives the whole thing a kick. Oh, that's a neat little system. I quite like that. So, So after 2 crashes, I'm going to say that I've learned my lesson. I'm not going to unpause this fort again. I'm not entirely sure what's going on here, whether or not it's a conflicting mod install or something going on my computer, but holy crap, I just have to say that like I had to test those out just for the video because those are some really cool setups. Down here we have what do you call it? A guild hall, metalsmith's guild hall, and down here is a much smaller weaponsmith's guild hall, obviously connected to it as it's demanded. And now we're just going to kind of explore the fort a little bit. So if we move up, we can see these different bedroom layers. I have a lot of people actually asking me, how do you build organic looking forts? Build into cavern layers. It's definitely going to be your best method of kind of setting up a really cool organic looking fortress without actually having to design much, because all you do is you fill out the space that you are provided with the caverns, right? And from there, it'll encourage you building more intricate and interesting looking bedrooms. We have this beautifully huge tavern up here. Everybody in the fortress is extremely happy. Massive population, which is something I haven't mentioned yet. Of course, with Queen Esm at the front of this fortress. Up all the way around here, we have this beautiful, beautiful setup for this tavern. Tavern, incredibly high value, and all the dwarves seem to be having a great time. Considering the frame rate in this fortress, I'm scared it'll crash again, but like the population of this fort plus the frame rate just makes it even all that more impressive to me. As we move up, we can see even more of these beautiful, beautiful bedrooms, and this fortress just kind of continues to just put me in awe, to be completely honest. There's the launch pad for that incredible minecart system, and let's see if we can move down through the caverns a little bit, see if there's anything else we can spot. Over here, I would assume is the adamantine thrones for the throne room for the glorious queen, and of course bedrooms for the I guess the militia captain of the guard, and then down here would be the mayor's office. I really like this kind of setup of like, oh wow, the mayor's office is just right there, followed by the queen's quarters, and then as we scroll down, the military trains down below, which is also a really cool thematic idea. And up above here on the edges, we have various others who are working for the queen. So we have the bookkeeper and whatnot right there. And then over here on the left, we have a small library, the Gilded Bastion, which does have 183 books in it. Also quite impressive. The entryway for the queen's chambers is actually kind of risky, unless this is like sealed off somewhere that I'm not seeing. But it does go through the outside of the caverns, or it does have a way out into the caverns, which is kind of neat. Down here is like a beautiful little prison setup, which also I'm a big fan of this. Since you've got lava in here, you might as well also, just have some lava fountains in case you need to get rid of some of these prisons real quick. I like the cobweb for added measure in these top ones. That's kind of a nice little touch, even though it wasn't intentional, most likely. And then there is a drain down here, I'm assuming for the lava, in case it needs to be used. And let's see, what else can we find in this beautiful little fortress? A place for making obsidian. So you let some lava in, and then you let some water in, and you can make yourself some obsidian. Beautiful little setup here. And I'm just going to pause and unpause so you can see these briefly. I've never actually figured out how to make these. I'm assuming it's just a track stop going to the right, but track stop going to the right makes the water move, which allows you to power water wheels. That seems like an interesting system. I've never actually managed to get it working myself, but I've seen it in a handful of forts now. And then as we scroll down, this is a little bit spoiler-ish, but as we scroll down, there is, of course, this hole here going down into a spire where they have mined out a whole bunch of adamantine just down to the edge where they could possibly release some unfun things into their basement. So they've been very careful to not actually release the fires of hell, but at the same time, they still have a good amount of adamantine and more than enough to satisfy the monarch. And all in all, I would say that this is a glorious mountain home. Thank you very much for sending in this fortress and for the beautiful little write-up at the top there. And seriously, please continue sending in fortresses, even though I haven't been keeping up with this series. And I'm going to be trying to push it a little bit more in the lore direction and do some more writing of my own for these particular videos, or alternatively, reading of things that people include with them. Thank you very much for watching this video. I'm at PAX right now, so if you happen to be in Seattle, let me know in the Discord. Maybe we can meet up. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.